I grew up in a small town called Abington, Massachusetts, just south of Boston.
I grew up in the Bronx, in the confines of the 4-6 precinct, 184th Street and the Grand Concourse. High school in Grace Holy Dodge, Cortona Avenue. It's next to the Bronx Zoo.
I grew up in Bedford-Stuyvesant, Brooklyn, New York. I went to school at Cambridge College.
I became a detective to work specifically for crime victims, taking cases from start to finish and to hopefully bring them justice. Believe it or not, the NYPD does a really good job of promoting women and including women, and it has to be said that the women who came before me, they paved the path for us because it's a non-issue. I don't look at myself as a female detective, I look at myself as a detective. And there's no heads turning to say, oh, how is there a female here? It's just the norm. It's the norm now. And there are a lot of female detectives in all those units that I mentioned. They take up spots in every facet of the Detective Bureau. So it's really a non-issue being a female, but that's because of the women who came before me.
I joined the NYPD growing up. My dad was in auxiliary. He was a hospital police officer in Montefiore Hospital. And all of his friends while I was growing up were cops from the 52nd precinct, where my father was also an auxiliary officer. So my whole life, pretty much, I was surrounded by cops. And I just fell in love with the brotherhood, the family relationship that they had and bond. And my dad had friends from all over, and they all came together and acted like one big family. And I was drawn and attracted to that, and the respect that they got from the people out in the street. And I wanted to be part of that. My mom said as soon as I can talk, I always said I wanted to become a police officer. Women's History Month means to me a lot. I mean, it's showing appreciation, respect, and validation of the hard work that women have put in throughout the years in the police department, and the women that fought and paved the way so that I can be here and become a detective and show that we can do the job, and we equally belong, and we can get the job done.
I became a detective because I love solving crimes. I love the art of negotiation. I love the art of interrogation. And it's just one of those fascinating things that you get to be creative when you're in the role of detective in order to solve a crime, taking it from step A to step B to the finish line in order to bring justice to our victims. Women's History Month means so much. It's to highlight the extraordinary women that came before me, the trailblazers that set the trail blazing, that opened up the doors for women like myself and others to be here today. But it's so much more. Now we have to open up the door for women to come after us and pass the torch.